Welcome to 8mm Lab. Today I'm talking about the Netflix limited series Unbelievable. It's based on a true story reported in 2015 by ProPublica and the Marshall Project. I would say it's a remarkable study of how sexual assault investigations should be conducted and how they shouldn't. And story flows with two female detectives following a twisting path to arrive at the truth of the mystery rapist. So, if you haven't watched this yet, you must stop this video right now. I don't want to ruin it for you. Go and watch it and then you can see my review. Okay, now let's start breaking down the story. The story shows two timelines. One is in 2008 and other is in 2011. You can see a clear difference in the behavior of the detective towards the victim in these two different timelines. So, first episode starts in 2008 with Murray. Our lead character of this series, played by Caitlin Dever, is in a shock, obviously traumatized. Later she was charged with lying about having been raped. Caitlin Dever is doing an amazing job throughout the series. When I was watching this, even I could feel how frustrated Murray was. At some point, I asked myself, why the f she can't tell the truth and get help? She really got into my veins. That's how perfect her acting was in the series. She gave her best shot to the audience. Caitlin, you're amazing. No wonder why she nominated as the best performance by an actress in 2020 Golden Globe Awards, along with Merritt Weaver and Toni Collette. Collette acts as a Detective Grace, Weaver acts as Detective Karen. These two are the other reason I continue to watch this series. The chemistry between them is amazing, especially the way they collaborate their resources to catch this serial rapist and how they emotionally struggle to survive throughout their investigation. And whole first episode shows the trauma of Murray. It is very frustrating to watch how Murray going through. Detective starts questioning from Murray, who's just survived the worst experience of her life. Detective re-victimizes her by making to tell the story of her attack again and again without thinking about her mental condition at all. While she was being raped, she made herself distracted by looking at a picture. It shows how her mind worked to get rid of that frustrating memory. It's like covering up bad memories with good. She wanted to forget what happened that night, but people around her continuously made her bring up those memories. Detectives put too much pressure on her, and she struggled to figure out what is real and what is not. She was lost because detectives said there are conflicts in her story, and they convinced her that she wasn't raped. She only did this to get attention on her. Then she concluded by herself that there was no one in the room that night, so she tells the detective that she was lying all this time and nothing happened to her. That's where all went wrong. She lost everything around her: her friends, her foster parents' faith, her job, and even her place where she was living. At some point, even I came to that conclusion that she was lying all this time. But unfortunately, she wasn't.
Is there really a rapist running around that we should be looking for? Marie?
And all this happened in 2008 and our story directed to 2011. That's where we meet our two lady detectives. In Golden, Colorado, a woman named Amber is raped, and a detective called Karen, investigating the case, does almost everything right. Karen takes Amber to a private space after making sure she is comfortable. Karen is very calm and gentle on her. She knows how to question a victim. Therefore, Amber was able to provide three important details about the attacker to Karen: a dark mark on his left calf, the time that he left the house, and his ability to talk 4 languages. And also, Karen reassures Amber that the nurses about to examine her are well trained and sensitive.
I know both these nurses. They're great. Well-trained, respectful.
Okay, there are 3 turning points in this story. First is the scene where Murray's former foster mother Judith telling the detective that she doesn't believe Murray and her behavior was unacceptable. After that, detective gets distracted and tries to confront Marie that there are inconsistencies in her story and starts twisting her words and putting words in her mouth. Then Marie ends up admitting that she made up the story about the rape. So, let me stop here and go to the end of the story for a moment. At the end, the rapist is captured by the police and there he tells that Marie is his first victim. If the investigation hasn't stopped, there is a high probability of him getting captured after his very first attack. If so, there won't be any victims. So in a way, by closing the investigation, detectives who handled Marie's case has given motive to the rapist to continue his series of rapes. The second turning point of the story is the scene where Karen tells her husband, who is also a police officer in Westminster, Colorado, about the details of a new investigation. There he realizes that the details of the case are familiar. So, this incident shows the lack of interaction between the police stations. Detectives don't know whether the same type of crime has happened before in another area. And police officers don't fill up the online database which was created to catch repeat offenders with all the details.
A cop in Westminster and a cop in Golden sharing specific evidence about their investigations are pretty slim.
Then comes the third and the final turning point of the story. When focusing on suspicious vehicle reports, they come across a report on a suspicious pickup truck parked on a street with a man inside. The pickup is 1993 white Mazda registered to a Lakewood man named Chris McCarthy. After a series of interesting incidents, of course, which you will have to watch, Karen arrests McCarthy and finds all his stuff in his house, including an encrypted hard drive. Here, Grace stays behind to give the chance to Karen to arrest the attacker by herself. This shows bonding between the two detectives, and that strong bonding is the secret behind the capture of the rapist. So, justice is served. Chris McCarthy is sentenced to 327.5 years for the Colorado attacks and additional 68.5 years for the two Washington rapes, including Marie Adler's. But some of his computer files remain encrypted. So, the reality behind this story is, women rape cases are mostly being ignored. According to the statistics shows in RAIN organization, every 73 seconds an American is sexually assaulted, which leads to an average of 433,648 of rape and sexual assault each year in the United States. I think people around a victim should support the victim to gain her mental state back without ignoring them and without criticizing their actions. There should be a support system, especially for the orphan girls like Marie. And also you can see that both detectives dedicated their whole time to this investigation without having a break. Even sometimes they had to give up their family time. Some scenes clearly show how stressed they were because of this investigation. Police officers are also human beings. Sometimes they also get shocked by the cases which they are handling. Most of the time they take it with them until the end of their lifetime. That's the end of my review for Unbelievable. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe our channel for more videos like this. Thank you.